U.S. promises to be a more constructive partner in the development of Jamaica and the rest of the region. Prime Minister brings attention to climate change, energy and poverty eradication at the 7th Summit of the Americas, and agreement signed for the expansion of the Kingston Container Terminal. With this week's Jamaica House Weekly, I'm Simone Wolfe. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller last week facilitated the visits of U.S. President Barack Obama and CARICOM heads of state and government. During Thursday's bilateral talks with President Obama, maintaining Jamaica's economic reform program, investing in youth, climate change, and human rights were high on the agenda.
We also discussed strengthening our cooperation in the areas of security and human resource development. We explored additional ways of improving our trade and economic relations, including through capacity building for our private sector, as well as in the areas of energy security and renewable energy.
For his part, President Obama said he hoped to partner with Jamaica and the region to find constructive ways to combat challenging issues.
I think there are going to be a whole host of areas where the United States can be helpful.
Jamaica's wish for the island's first national hero to be exonerated of a criminal conviction in the U.S. was also discussed. And later at the CARICOM U.S. Summit at the UII regional headquarters, Mrs. Simpson Miller said the grouping was united by their fundamental values, interdependence, and desire to address common concerns.
Our dialogue today reaffirms our strong partnership and also signals our desire to take CARICOM USA relations to a higher level, capitalizing on the gains of the past and exploring new opportunities for the future.
Prime Minister Simpson Miller accompanied President Obama at a wreath-laying ceremony at National Heroes Park and later saw him off as he left for the 7th Summit of the Americas in Panama. Before that, the U.S. President engaged regional youth at a town hall forum at the University of the West Indies. And Prime Minister Simpson Miller thanked the Jamaican people for their warm reception of President Obama and the CARICOM heads. She expressed gratitude and appreciation for the display of understanding and cooperation with arrangements made for the visit. By Friday, the Prime Minister was in Panama for the 7th Summit of the Americas. Mrs. Simpson Miller described the summit as historic, given that all 35 countries in the hemisphere were represented, including Cuba, whose participation, she said, was a vital step towards progress and development within the region. She urged regional leaders to commit themselves to tackling climate change.
Jamaica urgently seeks legally binding commitments at the upcoming conference in Paris by our parties, December later this year.
The Prime Minister also called on her regional counterparts to act with greater urgency to stem low economic growth, poverty, and the high cost of energy.
We must redouble our international cooperation as a community of the Americas to attain shared prosperity with equity.
The 7th Summit of the Americas was held under the theme Prosperity with Equity, the Challenge of Cooperation in the Americas. Before her departure for Panama, Mrs. Simpson Miller witnessed the signing of a 30-year, $510 million concession agreement for the operation and expansion of the Kingston Container Terminal. The Prime Minister promised to facilitate increased investment in the island's people and economy by way of foreign direct investments.
As government, we will be continuing our efforts to improve the business climate, adding to recent major improvements on our global ranking. This signing is another example of that significant growth in investments, which opens a new door to a world of exciting opportunities for you as investors and for the people of Jamaica. Through high-quality employment and training possibilities.
The agreement will see French group Terminal Link CMA CGM taking control of the KCT from the Port Authority of Jamaica. The company, operating as Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, will oversee the dredging of the access channel to the Kingston Harbor to accommodate mega ships coming out of the Panama Canal. Phase 1 of the two-part project is expected to be completed by August. Following that signing on Tuesday, Prime Minister Simpson Miller welcomed Jean-Pierre Bel, the personal envoy of French President François Hollande. In addition to the signing of the concession agreement, the two spoke of further deepening the long-standing partnership between their countries. And the Minister responsible for Information and Women's Affairs, Sandra Faulkner, represented government at the inaugural Phenomenal Women Breakfast held at the Terra Nova Hotel Friday morning. In her address, Senator Faulkner called on female leaders to encourage other women to be more involved in national development. And that's how we close Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next time for the latest stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.